Hey everybody. This is our first District 6 podcast. It's going to be a spoiler cast on
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. Here I'm with my buddy and partner.
I had a real life mate, Alan. I'm here. We're recording our fifth actual spoiler cast. It's going to be a while until the other ones get uploaded, but just check it out.
Fifth. Okay, I guess.
I'm lying. Okay.
Hey, and I'm Fred. So here we are, just two members of District 6 as of now. We're trying to get other people to join us and stuff like that. And, we're just here to have fun and hopefully get better with time. But with that all said, let's jump into what we're really here for, and that's the spoiler cast on Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok, directed by Taika Waititi.
That's right.
Fantastic
the
job.
Porgs Ragnarok.
The Korg, the character that was in the prison. Okay, so let's get the whole description down about the film. It's the third in the entry of the Thor series, with Chris Hemsworth at the helm, and as a leading actor, and we have Taika Waititi from What We Do in the Shadows fame, which is a really good mockumentary vampire film. It's really good. It's really funny. I actually just saw it last night, reviewing my girlfriend because she couldn't get out of her head. She was like, "Who is that? Who is Korg? Who is he? I want to lay with him." And I was like, "Oh, that's Taika Waititi."
Take your girl TT.
Exactly. He immediately took my girl, especially the fan favorite scene of where he's like, "Piss off, ghost," and he kicks the wall.
That was actually funny. But okay. Well, let's not get to that point. So it's Taika Waititi, director. We've got Thor, Chris Hemsworth. You got Loki. Back, you've got the new character Hela, and some of your old favorites. Anywho, so let's get on to the story. Let's start off with the beginning of the movie, right? You see, what is it? Was it a Thor in the cage with us? Locked up.
He's trying to get a Surtur.
Surtur.
He's trying to defeat Surtur before Ragnarok happens, because in Norse mythology, Surtur is one of the big bads.
Definitely one of the big bads, and he's locked up right now at this point, and he kind of gives off his little thing that I think if you watch the trailers, he comes out and says it.
Yeah, you see a Hulk. He's like jumping. He's doing like the big old like.
Yeah, well, that's way later. That's way later.
But that's the trailer. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
But yeah. So he falls down and he kind of tells his little story, and Surtur just kind of comes out and says his little business.
It's a very Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah,
it's funny. It's funny, very quippy, very stuff, but. I mean, in all honesty, it does seem very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque.
It is.
So let's skip that part. We'll get to our commentary at that part a little later. So then he goes back, figures out that that Odin isn't Odin.
Yeah, Odin isn't there. Loki has taken over Asgard, and he's charlatan. He's taken over the position of Odin, and he does a very beautiful scene. They reenact. He makes a play reenacting the scene from Thor: The Dark World that everybody forgot.
What about
with Matt
Damon? That's what I was gonna say. I was watching the movie and I was like, "Yo, was that fucking Matt Damon?"
And then the guy who played Odin. Oh my god, I forgot the actor. At the moment, I'll look it up. Put it in post, whatever. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But it was a great little like scene. It was really funny. And then Matt Damon played Loki, right?
Yeah, Matt Damon played Loki.
Loki in the play.
Shout out to Matt Loki.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was pretty good. I liked it. I was all into it too. I was like, whoa, look at this. And then so Thor calls him out, as always. And
he's like, hey man, you're not the All-Father and stuff like that. Oh, they built a whole statue.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they built a Loki statue. That was pretty dope.
Which and then I was all down for. I thought it was natural. But.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. And then so what do they do? Oh, then they travel to Midgard, right? Earth.
Our land, Earth, Midgard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Captain Planet on that one. So they get to Earth. Then you have one of the Easter eggs. They're trying to figure out. No, but I was
where Odin is. That's the whole point of come here to Midgard.
So you have one of the Easter eggs right away. Where wasn't it Thor got banished to Earth at one point? And he looks like in the comics, but he's like a normal person, and then he carries around a stick, but the stick transforms into
I think it was a cane, and this version there was an umbrella.
Yeah, and he was an umbrella, so it's a little nod to it. So I was like, that's pretty cool. But what about Loki looking so G'd out in that all black suit.
Oh, very incredibly dapper. Very dapper.
Yeah, I was like, dude, shout out to him.
I thought he was here in Midgard. I thought it was Dapper Day at Disneyland. But anyways, we have the big scene that everybody was really looking forward to.
It was hype.
The Chronic, the Doctor himself,
mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange, 221B Baker Street. I'm sorry, that's Sherlock Holmes. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. We get to see whole scene. Well, they kind of remade the post-credit scene from Doctor Strange, but they kind of
added on a little bit, some stuff you were missing. Look, what about though? I'm gonna be honest. Benedict Cumberbatch in what I feel one of the truest suits to the comic book with his yellow gloves and
the dishwashing gloves.
His dishwashing. I was like, yo,
fantastic! I was very excited.
I was like, yo, get ready to the back of house. You're gonna start washing dishes for this restaurant. Let's do this.
It's time. Call me Dr. Stewart. But yeah, he looked fantastic. He was great. It seems that his powers have greatly improved since Doctor Strange. He was doing all these different things. He was like teleporting.
He took out Chris Hemsworth's hair and starts doing stuff and makes Loki fall for like 30 minutes. I mean, it was pretty. It was good. I liked it. It was funny. It was good. And then
I kind of hoped for him to at least
do a little more
battle. Like hopefully just be like, hey man, we really got to deal with this.
They're holding out for the next one.
Yeah, but it felt very comic booky. It reminded me a lot of when Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
when Spider-Man goes out of his way, where he's just like, oh, I can't beat this guy. Let me go hit up Doctor Strange or Reed Richards. Like, hey man, how do I beat this person? Hey man, use your brain. Blah blah blah. Believe in yourself and blah blah blah. And he's like, I'm Reed Richards. I hate my wife. But anyways, it was very cool, very comic book-esque.
Yeah, very very cool. So then right after that, Doctor Strange sends them on their way to go see their dad
to Norway, which is a really cool Norse. That's right, because isn't that where all this stuff happened? Germany, Norway, and all that stuff. I read a lot of that Norse mythology itself, but I'm not sure where exactly it takes place. But
it's cool. Correct. So then they go, they talk to the dad. The dad kind of lets them know what's up. Then boom, Hela shows up.
Which was hella good. But anyways.
Right. She shows up, blows up his Thor's hammer.
Mjolnir gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Which was one of my favorite parts about the film. And the commercials.
It was sad.
Commercials. It was sad, but a lot of the commercials, what I liked is that they CGI'd the spoilers. Because if you notice, the original one, she throws the hammer, but they're in an alleyway.
Right.
And then a big spoiler, guys. 3, 2, 1, let's jam. There's a spoiler where like Thor jumps out of Asgard and he lands on the Rainbow Bridge, and then you see as lightning coursing through his body.
He's got no eyeball.
But in the film, exactly, he has no eyeball. It's missing. Yeah. That's just a big old black thing, which is really cool.
Yeah. It was a really cool touch. That's what
was very Empire Strikes Back kind of esque, like Luke getting his hand cut off.
Yeah, that's what I was telling. That's what I was telling Brittany. I was like, hey, yo, they CGI'd all this stuff, all this little.
And I thought it was amazing.
It was great. That's how you got to do it. I mean, you can show it off, but if you can CGI the things out like they did, you'll still be surprised the moment it hits you, man, because you don't expect it.
It caught me off guard. Like honestly, like when he got his eye cut off. Spoilers, I was like, oh dang, they spoiled that in the commercials. But
no, and you know what I started thinking to myself though? I started thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? This fool is gonna get his thunder powers, and it's gonna heal his eye. That's what I thought. I go, he's gonna get an eye heal. No, I know. I'm glad too. But I thought, he's gonna heal his eye or something, some super healing or something. And nope, still no eyeball.
No eyeball, but
no eyeball. So wait, hang on. She breaks the hammer. Odin dies.
And then
she proceeds to. They proceed to. Loki messes up as always. Proceeds to call.
As he does in Norse mythology as well, but anyways,
he calls out for the Bifrost
but Heimdall unfortunately is not there.
Yeah, and so they open up the Bifrost, and with that, he winds up getting sucked up with Loki, Thor, and now Hela because she jumped in. So they start fighting there. Loki gets bumped off, then Thor gets bumped off, and Hela winds up in Asgard. And so then now right after that, she goes, starts taking over Asgard. Right, we're gonna kind of just along really pretty quickly on this. So she goes to Asgard. After that,
when she kicks him out of the Bifrost, when they're in the tunnel going towards Asgard. She kicks Loki out, and then Loki ends up getting stuck a couple weeks ahead of time that Thor does, and then Thor lands into essentially Sakaar, aka Planet Hulk. But yeah, most of the film though, that's one of my small criticisms. I love the film to death. It was fabulous, the best Thor film. But it was very, very Planet Hulk-esque.
Oh yeah,
they stayed on that planet
for a predominantly good chunk of the movie.
Yeah, most of the film.
And so then after they get stuck there, Thor meets the locals. He gets picked up by Valkyrie, who he doesn't know is Valkyrie. Gets picked up by her. He gets put through a Willy Wonka tunnel. I don't know if you noticed that.
I noticed the film. The music.
It was so really dope. Good. It was so dope. So he goes through like a little Willy Wonka tunnel, and boom. Who's there? But the Grandmaster now.
Jeff Goldblum.
Goldblum himself.
AKA there are dinosaurs here. Yes, he is there from famous for Jurassic Park, The Fly, and Portlandia, so numerous amount of characters. But Jeff Goldblum is there.
Yeah, and
doing an incredible comedic job.
Yeah, and then right after that, he proceeds to get his hair cut by the one, the only Stanley. That was pretty funny when he's gonna get his hair cut. He gets his hair cut, comes out with a new do, looking mighty handsome. I'm like,
he looks
good like that. I actually think now that I see it with the haircut like that and the way he was done, I don't miss the long hair.
I actually never missed the long hair. I never really cared for the long hair. I know it's part of his character, but I wish he wore the helmet more, the winged helmet.
Oh, the winged helmet was pretty dope.
They barely wear, and then in the big old fight with him and the Hulk, they wear the helmet.
So yeah, so he fights. Stuff. He fights with the Hulk. It's pretty much a draw, kind of. Actually, it seems like Thor was gonna win at that point, but then it comes out to be like a little draw. After that, they proceed to then go out and. Thor tries to want to escape.
He tries to escape. He gets there's a.
I completely forgot. Right before the fight, though, that's where he meets Korg and Meek.
Korg. Oh yeah, he meets Korg, who was actually portrayed as well by Taika Waititi, who's a fabulous show stealer in the film. He's wonderful. He's a great actor. Great actor director. Yeah. I was crying of laughter.
Oh yeah.
In a later scene in the film.
Yeah, we'll get to those right now. And so then after that, where were we? So he proceeds to. Thor tells him, "Hey, there's a Quinjet ship." They kind of a little bickering. He goes off to the Quinjet. Next thing you know, Thor goes in there and destroys everything. And then they've got no ship. So then they speak to Valkyrie, find out where there's a ship because of Loki. Then they try to go get the ship. Loki ends up trying to betray Thor like he always does, but instead then
Thor always catches him. Thor is always there to catch him now. It's a brilliant form of character development over the time because Thor always falls for it. Now this time he's like, Loki, you're getting old at it. You need to develop, and he's kind of in a way saying like, hey man, it's time.
Time for us to grow up.
Yeah, time to.
Yeah, for both of us. Yeah, time for both of us to kind of
changes
to grow up, and then. So then they get in the ship. They have the little battle or whatever. They finally get off Sakaar. They head to Asgard. Get to Asgard, and by that point, Hela's now hella strong. You see that?
Hey. Yeah, so Hela is pretty hella strong. She gets her power from Asgard. And then you find out that Hela was actually the firstborn of Odin. Like, she was she was the one there. She was his executioner. They fought many battles and blah, blah, blah. And like Odin, he buried the truth and stuff like that. But I mean, the film is there's a lot of stuff to it, but we're gonna try to get through it.
Yeah.
And then obviously,
then they have their big fight. She cuts Thor.
With Hela,
where we were talking about, she cuts Thor's eye. Thor becomes kind of like Rune Thor, or he gets the Thor Force. I don't know how you want to call it. Almost.
He's very powerful. And then there's like a little quick vision of Odin saying, "Hey man, it's been inside you the whole time." Like,
it was never Mjolnir.
Yeah, it was never Mjolnir.
Even though you're led to believe that Mjolnir has that. Well, I mean, in the comic books, he's got what is it like?
The comics has been like that. Even when he became like old Thor, like he always had Mjolnir. But I feel like they're trying to go a different route. Yeah. Even Wonder Woman kind of had the same thing where Wonder Woman just had these weird powers that even I still don't know, where she just kind of jumps up and throws a lightning bolt towards Ares.
Throws the Omega Sanction at people and stuff.
Yeah. But this time they kind of said, you know what, we'll keep it simple. Lightning, it's inside him.
Lightning in a bottle. I got it. Yeah, it comes out. And then, so then he ends up. not really beating her because he just can't. So he decides, you know what? We got to bring Ragnarok.
We got to bring Ragnarok.
Yeah, we got to bring Ragnarok. So then they bring Surtur out.
Norse mythology.
They bring forth Ragnarok, and then they get off the planet with his people with
all the Asgardians, because Asgard is not a place. Asgard is her people,
which makes sense. And then Thor gets this one scene where he walks up, and it looks like he gets to sit down in a throne almost on the ship, kind of signaling that, hey, now he is a king of Asgard. And then it pretty much ends. I mean, I know we're rushing it kind of, but, that's the gist of it.
We're just trying to tell you, like, the gist of the film.
Gist of the movie, because obviously too much time. And we don't want to, we don't want to spend too much time telling you, you should go and enjoy it. We're telling you, at least me, I think it's a good movie.
It's a fantastic film. It's
and then you have
wonderful film.
Then you get the two, they have 2 end credits. So if you do go watch the 2 end credits.
Which were my biggest setback with the film.
Oof, bad. Look, the first one, is that supposed to be like the Black Order?
It's supposed to be Thanos.
It's Thanos,
I'm assuming it's Thanos' ship, because in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, they have that weird black line ship with the curves. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought it was. So I was like, oh, it's supposed to be Thanos again. But the thing is, I feel like my biggest setback with the film was the post-credits. They were very minuscule.
The Jeff Goldblum one was whack. Come on, dude. It did not need to be there. But I did enjoy watching Jeff Goldblum. So watching him was cool. But I don't think I needed that. I mean, I kind of wanted. You know what I was hoping for? Maybe something like Jeff Goldblum being mad and being like, I need to get them back or something, to where you feel like maybe he might come out.
That would have been too much of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Because remember the Golden people? They're like, we got to get the Guardians. They defeated us. Well, so here's Adam Warlock.
Okay, well, now that we're at this point, we're gonna iron out we're gonna give out our grievances, and we're gonna give out what we liked about the movie.
Pros and cons of Thor.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. Look, let me tell you like this: they could have been fucking Guardians of the Galaxy at that point. The way I love the humor. Don't get me wrong, I love the humor, but they could have been Guardians of the Galaxy pretty much. I mean, they went straight Jack Kirby, which is awesome.
Oh my god, that was my favorite part of the film. This film, dude. If you're a big Jack Kirby Jack Kirby art lover, this film is riddled with it. The only thing missing out of this film was a Kirby crackle. Other than that, this film is Jack Kirby. This is what you've always wanted to see on film of Jack Kirby. It was beautiful. Even the background characters with their armor, Jack Kirby. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh no, they were the Celestials, dude. They look like Celestials.
They had Celestial looking armor, but
it gives you like this thing of like, this is what they are. This is what looks good, and I'm just like, damn, dude, it was a phenomenal movie to watch, just visually beautiful. I mean, the colors and everything. No matter where he went, even when he went to Surtur's dimension or whatever, it was even though it was kind of dark, there's still a bright reds. It was so good.
But most of the beauty was Sakaar.
Sakaar, yeah.
Because everything was Jack Kirby there. Everything was essentially what I wanted. I'm hoping the upcoming Justice League maybe might delve a little tad bit into it, because Jack Kirby did the New Gods and stuff.
Sure, yeah. But Jack Kirby's gonna he's gonna die with the TCD.
I think he's Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, you can do no wrong. But anyways, back to Thor Ragnarok.
Because we're on Marvel, baby. It's Marvel time.
It's Marvel, baby. It's West Coast Cali, where you at? So anyways,
Scoops, Mango Sentinel,
Häagen-Dazs. But anyways, yes. So the film, beautiful. The post credits was my biggest thing with it. I didn't care for it. The comedy was fine. I enjoyed it.
The comedy. They had a lot of comedy. But the Taika Waititi, when they were talking about the hammer, and it makes it sound like Thor's having like sexual relations with a hammer, where he's like,
it sounds like your hammer is part of a brilliant part of you, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, because he's like, so what'd you do? He's like, I lost my hammer, man. It was really cool. He's like, oh, really? What'd your hammer do? He's all, well, I would spin it and I would throw it. And he's like, oh my god, you ride your hammer? He goes, no, I didn't ride my hammer. He's like, oh wait, your hammer rode you? No. He's all, I would.
It pulled me off.
It would pull me off. Oh my god, it pulled you off. And then you're like, as an adult, you're getting this humor. As a kid, you're probably like, he's quipping back and forth, but as the adult, you're kind of laughing. Like, I get it, it pulls you off.
Yeah, but still, my favorite part is the part where he's like, there's a scene where he's locked up with the other warriors and stuff on Sakaar, and then he's talking to Loki, and Loki's like just using an illusion to talk to him and stuff like that. And he's like, oh yeah, but they have this whole conversation. Thor already knows, like, Thor has grown throughout this trilogy and, you know, Avengers 1 and 2, where he kind of understands now. He understands a lot of things. But my favorite part, though, is like they're talking and then Loki kind of just disappears off, and then Korg just comes in out of nowhere and goes, piss off, Ghost! And he kicks the wall and he's like kicking random stuff, and it's just, I can't do it justice. I can't explain it. It's just a sight to see. It's absolutely hilarious. I was crying of laughter.
Yeah, that was so good. And then another part was because Korg steals all his lines, dude. What about at the end of the movie where he's like, Meek, you know, where are you from? How's your planet? You know, trying to figure out what planet to go to. And he's like, Meek, what planet are you from? Or, you know, how was it? He's like, yeah, Meek's dead. I stepped on him about an hour ago. He goes, but
I've been carrying him for an hour. He's been dead.
He's like, I feel bad. I just feel bad, so I got to carry him. And then all of a sudden, Meek just gets up and he goes, hey, everybody, Meek's alive.
Yeah, everybody, Meek's alive. He's like,
what was that? What was that question again? You wanna shoot that question all over again?
Oh no, it's all right.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, dude, that's hilarious. He's just funny. I mean, some of the things that I guess I can say is kind of bad is just maybe a little too much comedy on certain points.
Well, the intro for me was a little too much. It was very
the music though. All the jokes, I know it's a little much, but the music, dude, that when they play that
immigrant song.
Oh yes, they played it in the beginning and then they played it at the end.
They played it at the end. It was really good. They spent so much money just trying to get the rights for that song, and I was like, well spent.
Yeah, the
Thank
best.
You, Waititi. Great
job. Oh my god, dude! If anything, I can say just that alone made. Oh, it's a great movie.
It's a wonderful movie. It's very good. Yeah. Obviously, the best out of the Thor.
Out of the fourth trilogy and franchise.
I might even say like there's a little thing going on right now online where they're saying like because the main trilogy of a trilogy, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, they're saying Iron Man 1's the best, and it was the first one that came out.
That makes sense, yes.
Captain America 2, Captain America was the second one to come out. No, I think it was Thor before. Thor was before.
Yeah.
Captain America 2, Winter Soldier is the second best, and it was the best second film.
Yeah,
and then Thor is the third best, which has the third best film.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because Iron Man 3 was garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Civil War, I don't know. I argue with that because I love Civil War. Civil War was just amazing. It had all the heroes there. It had everything you wanted. It was just a quintessential comic book film. But this was the quintessential Thor film.
Yeah. I mean, I guess with the grievances or no grievances or happiness or no happiness, all we can really say is that this turns out to be a fantastic movie.
It's a banger.
Oh, it's good, and we know what I guess we both recommend. Go watch it. You're gonna come out happy. You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's what Tito was going for. He was going for he's like there's a lot of comic book films that are very dark and very kind of brutal, and you come out of them and you're like, oh shit, I feel kind of crappy about it. But this one at least was like, hey man, we're gonna make you have fun. We're gonna let you enjoy the film. And the story, I mean, I always thought Chris Hemsworth had great comedic timing, no matter what. So I was very excited to see this one. He was the most down to earth character, down to Midgard character.
I like that, down to Midgard. Well, I mean, do you have anything else to say or anything?
No, other than that, it was a great film. I there's really not a lot bad to say other than the post credits. I loved it thoroughly. I never had problems with it.
What can we say? But it turns out to be a good movie, and we can't wait to see what they do with the Avengers.
I'm very excited. That again, only qualm with it is that I wish there was a little bit more Thanos, because I feel
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. They've probably been saving him for this movie, but I mean, until
since it's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner, and we'll see what happens there. But well, you know what? Thank you for joining us for our very first podcast and our very first spoiler cast.
Come back again for our 365th spoiler cast here on District 6.
Sure, 5 years from now.
Yes, exactly.
Right, but you know what? Thank you. Thank you for checking us out today, and
hopefully our next one might be soon. Justice League.
The next spoiler cast might be Justice League, but we're hoping to have another regular podcast often enough to talk about other things and stuff, like a general podcast. But we'll see what happens. Well, but all I want to say is check us out on Facebook, here on YouTube. We're gonna try to be on iTunes and other places. We'll let you know as soon as we get the other stuff down. But you can, for sure, right now you can follow us on Facebook under District 6. You can go on Instagram and check us out under District 6. We've got a Tumblr. Look up Official District 6.
Official District 6.
Twitter.
No I because there's no I in team. Yeah. So keep an eye out for that.
But there is I in pie, and I'm getting kind of hungry.
Pie, yes.
Pumpkin pie. With that, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Fred.
I'm Alan.
And we're District 6.
All right, and we're out of here. Like and subscribe, and peace to all Midgard.
Cut.